So, welcome. I'm really happy to be here with you for today's session. So I want to kind of go light on the Dharma talk and the discourse because as I do the post-production of these meditation sessions, I realize how very much I can have to say sometimes, and hopefully it's all very relevant and applicable for what's going on in your life and what's going on in your heart. But for today, I want to work with one of the seminal practices of japa. So I have my mala here with me, and this mala is very beloved to me. I've had this since my daughter was very tiny. When she was a little baby, I've always had. I feel like New Mexico is a soul home of mine, and when she was a little baby, I had gone out there when she was 4 months, and to check it out, thinking that I was going to relocate to maybe to Taos at the time, or maybe to Santa Fe. But I ended up spending a goodly amount of time at this amazing place called the Neem Karoli Baba Ashram, which is in the foothills of the mountains out there, and it's just this very magical place. And was doing seva and staying there and meditating and doing a lot of chanting. They have morning and evening chanting sessions, and they have this amazing, what's called a murti, which is a life-size statue of Hanuman. So if you know anything about the Hindu traditions, Hanuman holds a pretty central place of importance and represents so many different qualities and characteristics and myths and stories that I could spend the next 3 days telling you all about it. But anyway, I'm not going to unpack that luggage. But it was a special time because my daughter ate her first solid food off of the Hanuman Murti altar. But it was at this place where I got these beads, and I have been chanting japa on these beads since, for almost 14 years, which is a lot of, like, I can just feel the magic in these beads. Hey, welcome. So glad that you're here. So mantra, here in integrative practices, we all know, but it's worth repeating that mantra is something very, very different than simply singing. And simply singing is enough. I'm a singer. So I love simply singing, but mantra is a science, and it's a meditation, and it's very, very old, and it's such an effective strategy. So I want to just kind of unpack some of the very old ways that mantra is used beyond, the obvious assumptions of maybe prayer or meditation. In Tibet, there's a whole cascade of ways that mantra is used medicinally, and we're going to work with a medicine mantra here in a few minutes. To help us as individuals and to help our beautiful planet as we go through this amazing ascension process that we're in the fire stream of currently. In Tibet, there's a variety, like I said, there's a variety of different ways that mantra is utilized in a medicinal manner. If you've worked with me one-on-one in my healing practice at the Zen Zone, which is currently on hiatus due to the famous virus, if you've worked with me, you have most likely experienced some iteration of this medicinal use of mantra. So there's water mantra, where the mantra is actually blown into water, and then you drink the water. And so you're actually imbibing the medicine of the sound current. And that's what we're working with when we work with mantra. We're working with the sound current, which is very, very powerful, and one of the most effective ways of dissipating the densities that we amass in our physiology. So there's ghee mantra, which is awesome. So the mantra is again blown over, sung over, blown over the ghee, which is clarified butter. And the ghee can either be consumed or it can be warmed and used medicinally on whatever the area of need is on the recipient's body. And so, I also do that with medicinal oils that have been infused with different, herbs or whatnot. There's salt mantra, where again, the mantra is blown over salt, and the salt can then be heated and applied to whatever area of need may be on the body, or you can bathe in that mantra salt. There's blowing mantra, which all the previous mantras I've just named involve some semblance of blowing, but with the blowing mantra, you actually blow the mantra onto the hands, and then you use your hands in a healing way on the receiver, wherever that area of need may be. There's metal mantra, when you come to the zone, and I work with the healing, the singing bowls. These are so old, these singing bowls. Oh my God, they have so much medicine in them. And sometimes I heat them up and then I put them on your body. And there's a little bit of dust in there, jeez. I'm notorious for having that happen. The dust doesn't come out of them when you play them necessarily. So they can accumulate some dust. Anyway, so you can heat the metal. It doesn't have to be a singing bowl. You can use a talismanic piece of metal. You can use, you could even use something like a spoon and heat it up and then apply it to the body. So there's the metal mantra, and then there's a stone mantra. I'm a big lover of stone mantra. If you've ever worked with my Kali stones, they're these black volcanic stones that I'll put the mantra in, and then I put them on your body, and they're very, very powerful. So I'm sharing all of these different mantra medicines with you because as the Integrative Practices Ambassador, I really want to empower you to have your own Rolodex, to have your own portfolio of practices and a relationship and the way in which you engage in these practices. So those are old, but still very relevant in our postmodern, ontological and physiological needs that we have here in 2020 in this global pandemic. But also in integrative practices where I am very interested in helping you as a practitioner to be a bridge builder so that you can always have a very clear insight and outlook regarding how these practices are very, very relevant for who you are and what you're working with right now, again, as part of a postmodern species. So when we work with mantra, there is a rhythmic, hypnotic, repetitive feedback loop that we pierce and that we enter. And it gives us rest, it gives us freedom, and it pulls us up and out of the wrong kind of hypnosis that we are either knowingly or unwittingly wrestling with because of media. The television commercials that are going on in everybody's houses, that's a kind of hypnosis. The music that's played in those commercials is a kind of, it's strategically selected to have an effect on the way we're thinking and the way we're acting and the way we're, engaging with the world. So when you work with mantra, you are interrupting the release valve of the modern media hypnosis that's having an effect on your biology and that's having an effect on the lucidity of your consciousness. Again, whether or not you know it, like this is really slippery, elusive stuff. When you work with mantra meditation, it's like running, a program on the computer of your mind and removing all the viruses that have gotten in there from external sources, and we do that with our devices. So we've got to do it with our minds so that we can stay, really vibrant and exuberant and available to living. So I hope that has a landing place and that makes sense to you, because it's very legitimate. So I know I said I wasn't going to talk a lot, but I guess I had a few things to say. So I'm going to do, and I hope that you can stay in this gathering for long enough to do it with me. I'm going to do a whole mala of this. If you don't have the freedom of your calendar to stay in this meditation for the whole mala, you can, tap into the replay at integratives.org, which is, it's your companion page where all the replays are, and it's a real wealth of practices over there at that address. So I'm going to keep track. We're going to do 108. I'll give you the mantra here in a second. And I'm keeping track of the mantra by passing one beat at a time over the second knuckle of my right ring finger. So this right ring finger is a tributary right into the human heart. I've been talking a lot over the past week about engaging with these practices and knowing them by heart. Not by mind, right? Yes, by mind to some degree, but knowing them by heart. And I've been talking about that with respect to embodied leadership here in our community of practice. Leadership that allows us to show up and fully shine, full stature in our spheres of influence in a way where we are thinking with our whole body and we are moving with our whole mind. It's a both and. So take this moment to tune in and let the moment give you rest, and let the moment give you freedom. Let it give you rest and let it give you freedom. So we're going to chant the Teata mantra, which is a medicine Buddha mantra. I have been working with this mantra for many, many years. It came into my field as a young woman and immediately impacted me, and it's been used for centuries by Buddhist practitioners and other practitioners the world over. It is a sweet and very powerful mantra that is asking for the relief of suffering and illness at the individual level and at the collective level. So we're really we're singing through our world throat as we chant the mantra. Here's the mantra. I'm going to say it, and then we're going to dive right in, and you'll get it. You'll get it because we're going to repeat it, and through repetition, the magic always arises. Teata Om Bekense Bekense Maha Bekense Samudgate Samudgate Raja Samudgate Soha. I always mess up mantras when I try to just say it without a melody. Let me just say that again. Teata Om Bekense Maha Bekense Raja Samudgate Soha. That's what it is. Okay? Teata Om Bekense Maha Bekense Raja Samudgate Soha. We're going to do it 108 times. So if you would please place one hand place your left hand on your heart, your yin hand on your heart, and place your yang hand on your belly. And in between your heart and your belly is the hearth. So this mantra is creating healing in the hearth of your body. We've got this luminous, self-effulgent hearth at the third energy center. And it's in the hearth where this healing is happening that the evolutional energy is emerging. The evolutional energy that honors the yin and that honors the yang, and that also honors the energy that transcends the limitations of the yin and the yang. So let's get into it. Teata Om Bekense Ma Bekense Raja Samudgate Soha. 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 Teata bekense ma bekense rata samukate sua. 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 Teata bekenze ma bekenze rata samugate 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 sua. Teata bekenze ma bekenze rada samugate su te down 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 bekenze ma bekenze rada samugate su amazing that doing a mala took us exactly to the closing moment of our meditation today. Things are often more aligned than we give energy credit for. So I encourage you for the rest of your day to listen in at that level of trust, to listen in at the level of alignment, and to notice. I'll give you the answer to that question in a moment. The name is Teata. I'll type it out for you too. The name is Teata, and it's Teata Om Bekense Maha Bekense Raza Samudgate Soha. You can find the lyrics very, very easily anywhere on the World Wide Web. And again, that's the Medicine Buddha mantra. Very, very powerful mantra to irradiate the tissues of your body with, and to send out, you're welcome, to send out to our beautiful world and all the sentient beings of our beautiful world. And I just want to say one more thing before I let you go. When we take time to heal, when we heal ourselves, we help to heal everyone, because we're bringing a whole and healed version of ourselves to the world. And when we have removed the resistance or reduced the resistance in our organism, we discover that our signature pleasures in life become much more apparent and available. and sort of playing with us in the field of life. And I'm a big believer in identifying and organizing around and integrating one's signature pleasures because, we want to bring joy to the life, to life, and to the life. We want to bring joy to life. And when we are in right relationship with, yes, livelihood and language and food and others, but also when we are in right relationship with joy, then that is a form of healing too. So stay really in touch and be really touched by your joy body today. What is it that's feeding your thriving? What are your signature pleasures? And name them and claim them and let them have a life all their own inside of you in a way that helps you to stay feeling like you are whole and like you are healed and like you are well enough to bring your whole heart to the world. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you enjoyed today's practice. I hope that it created a lot of homeostasis in your system. And mantra does so much for us, but it also creates this hormonal balance, which is always good news. I'll see you really soon. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Sat Nam and Namaste.